ladies and gentlemen, this is the press conference for Super Brawl 5 to take place at Mulcahy's on January 26th. Brought to you by Jack Howard Promotions. The gentleman to my right is Mr. Bobby Campbell.
What's going on? How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Glad to have you here.
As you may or may not know, there will be a tournament for the New York Queen of the Ring.
The Queen of New York.
Queen of New York, excuse me.
First time ever women's tournament in the amateur level. This tournament is bigger than these girls realize how big it is. It's very exciting, and the really kick to it is none of these girls that we're going to see today, there's more girls in tournaments. The ones we have today, they don't know if they're fighting each other. No one knows who they're fighting until the weigh-ins. So if you guys want to see who everyone's fighting, make sure you check out the weigh-ins. They're open to the public. The girls are going to pick colored balls and see who fights each other.
When and where will the weigh-ins take place?
The weigh-ins are taking place at Revolution Music Hall in Amityville, and the girls are weighing in at 1:30. Once they weigh in, everyone's going to pick the balls, and we're going to see who fights who. It's going to be pretty cool. Remember, the odd numbers are the blue corner, even numbers are the red corner. So
You've been doing this for a long time, over 10 years. What gave you the idea to do a tournament?
Everyone's been talking about it. Some of our trainers been talking about it. The ideas of picking the balls was actually a tournament that I was supposed to do in England, and I was very excited. You get to pick the balls when you get to the weigh-ins. I thought that was the coolest thing, because that makes it seem like you're training. You have no clue who you're fighting. You're training for seven different people, which makes it the best thing.
And as you mentioned, we do have several of our female competitors here.
We have most of them here. Now, guys, remember, on January 26th at Mulcahy's, the Queen of New York tournament, it will be the quarterfinals and the semifinals. 2 fights, 1 night. And then we do the final match to decide who the Queen of New York is in April, which is definitely going to be great.
Excellent. We're all looking forward to it. We want to introduce some of these ladies now.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jessica Schweitzer. Paige DiBartolo. Jarnika Wright. Kelly Boyle. And Lindsay Valentine. Good afternoon, ladies. Everybody have a seat, please. Now, we're certainly open to some questions from everybody here. Everybody excited about this tournament? Anybody preparing to fight anybody in particular? Start with you, Kelly.
Best case scenario, just be prepared for anything. Who knows? Even if, there are a couple girls that we've met in the ring before, who knows what they've been working on since then? Things can change, so you got to be ready for anything. I think, from my point of view, just to prepare for one specific fighter, you may luck out and fight them, but you got to be ready for anything else, especially if we might be fighting twice that night. So.
And what about you, Ms. Wright?
I'm excited, so I'm ready for all of them.
Schweitzer, I saw you in your debut at Mulcahy's. Congratulations on your victory. Anybody you're looking forward to fighting? Anybody maybe you're hoping not to end up fighting?
I'm excited about it, so I'm willing to fight anybody. It doesn't matter to me. I'm prepared.
Paige DiBartolo, your thoughts?
I mean, you never underestimate your opponent, and just be ready. I mean, you all want the same thing at the end of the day, and we're just ready to fight. So I'm just glad I'm finally getting a chance to fight again. Everybody always says no, so it's nice.
So I've had the pleasure of introducing you several times. You, Lindsay Valentine, how are you feeling about this tournament?
I'm stoked. I wasn't originally going to be in it. I was going to fight in Ohio, but then that fell through, and this came up, and I've seen several of the competitors in the ring, and it's a whole new me going in there. So I can't wait for this card.
Sounds great. We'll take some questions from the audience. Anybody have any questions for our female competitors?
I got a question. We'll go with Lindsay first. Lindsay, who do you think is the toughest opponent in the tournament?
Really? You're gonna ask me?
I'm gonna ask everyone that question, but I'm gonna start with you.
That's a tough question. I respect my my opponents here, so I don't really want to put anybody on the spot like that.
All right, Paige, same question. I'm gonna ask every girl the same question.
I kind of knew that. I honestly don't know. I really only see maybe 1 or 2 of them fight. I mean, I don't really know everybody. I know maybe 2 names out of the 8 or 7. I don't know who the 8th one is yet. So I don't know. I'm just ready, man. Let's go.
All right. Jessica?
I don't know either. I feel like everybody here is pretty badass.
Geneva?
Um, this young lady right here and Paige. So now look and see her in person. So
All right. And Kelly.
I mean, part of me does want to speak from like the experience that I've had in the ring with some of these girls, but like I said in my first answer, I mean, anybody can be working on anything. You know, definitely get surprised when I get in there with any of these girls. Who knows? I know every single person in this tournament, whether they're here or not for whatever reason, they've all been working their ass off. So I hope I can curse on here. Sorry.
That's gonna happen.
Sorry. The fighter in me.
How has training changed for you ladies, being that you're fighting twice in one night, opposed to usually the normal one time for an evening?
I'm excited.
For you, Kelly, any changes in the training? As gentleman asked about fighting twice in one night as opposed to once.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely has to take on a different plan in terms of my fight camp. I was fortunate enough to have some time built up. I had left a position work-wise and still waiting to start the next one, so I've had time to train twice a day every day, so I can kind of simulate fighting twice in one night, you know, putting out the same amount of output that I would be that night. So getting used to it, getting ready for it, so my body's conditioned so, as much as I can.
How about your feelings on it, Ms. Schwartz?
I'm training a lot harder, doing a lot more things, training multiple times a day to make sure my game is stepped up, and yeah.
I've personally never done a tournament. I've never done like any Muay Thai tournaments or anything like that. I've always just fought. I guess just training is definitely harder. You know, I think all of us are definitely questioning ourselves because again, we don't know who we're fighting, and you know, it's. I don't know. I guess you just train your ass off.
You never fought before
Just be
twice
ready.
in one night either.
No, I never have. Honestly, I don't know if anybody else has, but I'm stoked. I'm ready.
And you, Ms. Zell?
It's twice as much sparring, twice as much everything, literally, like, because, I mean, shit, for me, I'm going for my first win, so if I can get 2 in one night, that'd be freaking killer. So I gotta work my ass off, like, more than all these guys, because they're looking in there to dominate, and so am I, and I just can't freaking wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Lindsay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You just talked about having your first win. Now that you kind of feel like you're the underdog in the tournament, usually in tournament styles, the underdog usually wins. Now, do you feel you have an advantage because you are the underdog?
Well, I don't think that's going to bring me an advantage or a disadvantage. I think maybe I might be underestimated. I think in the past there's been some fights that have gotten stopped for blood, and you know, it's a blood sport, and that's what I do best is bleed. So I can't wait to get in there and leave some more spots in the mat and hopefully make someone else do it too.
I just saw that movie because no one makes me bleed my blood.
Sorry, it popped in my head.
Dodgeball.
There you go. Had to go.
Being that many of you ladies have already fought each other, what is something you've learned about just your opponent that you can bring to the next fight?
Everybody's different, so it really just depends. But,
Yeah, I've never fought anybody here. Honestly, I never, just never underestimate your opponent. You never know, like Kelly said before. Everybody's working on something each, and every time's better. So
Yeah, at this level, because we're all so, you know, amateur and lower, like, every single time we do it, we're going to be completely different. We're going to go in there. So it's like, you can watch all the footage you want in the world, but we're not going to be that same person going in there. Any of us, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're all still very green in our fight careers, so we're all still on a big learning curve and figuring out new things. I'm sure each of us, every camp has been a different focus on, you know, from learning experience, and we start to get comfortable with moving a certain way, and then, all right, so we've got that down, let's move on to the next thing, and, you know, tightening things up, getting more technical, not just going out there swinging, which I definitely did my first fight. I was just windmilling into that ring.
Well, you competed against Lindsay at the last event,
Yes.
hoping for a possible rematch to be
Yeah.
drawn when you
Yes.
end up drawing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Lindsay and I always put on a war, so
It's always a good fight, man.
it's always fun.
So be entertaining for our audience as well.
Yes.
Now, what do you girls feel that you girls are the first competitors ever do to this in New York? How does that make you girls feel?
badass. I mean, this weight class, it's very, for me, for instance, very hard to find an opponent that actually wants to fight. So to be able to be in this with so many women in this weight class that, you know, make the weight, it's cool. I'm so stoked for it.
what I hear is she's just excited to beat our asses. That's all I hear.
I'm just wanna fight. I mean, bullshit aside, I just wanna fight. I think we all feel the same way. Like we just wanna get in there.
Yeah, and who knows what the future's gonna bring for this tournament? Like years down the road, like I'm sure it's gonna get huge. And to say that we were part of the first one, that's pretty awesome. So I'm excited.
Probably have more people beating down the door to get in the tournament instead of, scrounging for 8 people. There's going to be
Yeah.
12, 20 people they're going to have to cut down.
Right, exactly.
Maybe 16-person tournament extended.
Yeah.
Qualifiers.
Let's start it.
Oh, go hard. Let's go.
Like college football playoff in here.
Question. No, I was any more
Oh.
questions.
I see a big ass light.
I have a
Oh,
question.
I
have a question
Yes.
for Shanika. Now that you have gotten a chance to see your opponent, how do you feel now, getting ready to go into the fight?
I'm ready. I'm excited. The last fight that I had was against Bree, so I'm ready to get back in there and show new movements because I didn't get to display all my talents I did over the last fight. So I'm excited and yes.
It's all excitement, no real change to the game plan and strategy.
Everything
going in.
everything is different. Everything's different. I lost my mom just a year ago, so my mindset totally changed. I'm definitely fighting for a better career, fighting for a better life, and it's all on me. So it's been a tough road, and I'm glad I'm here and I made it, regardless of what people gotta say. But until you get to know me, you know that I'm really cool, and then you respect me. But I've been fighting for a very long time. So I'm ready. And I'm glad, it's more females on the card, so I'm excited about that. And then 2 fights in one night, cool, because the second fight might be more of a blast for me than the first one.
Is there any animosity between any of you? Being on social media, you'll see people chirping and then it comes down quick. Is there any animosity between any of you ladies?
A little bit. I seen a couple of stuff, but I just let it go because I heard the worst. And I see a lot of females, we try to respect each other, but I don't know, the more shit everyone talks, it gets me all fired up. So that's how I look at it. But I respect all the fighters until, I had to say something then, but, bring it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, we all respect the hell out of each other because no matter what, how many fights you have, how hard you've been training, how long you've been training, it takes a lot to get in a ring and fight somebody. So I think we all respect each other for that. We're not all going to be friends. Not everybody in the world gets along, and that, sometimes it sucks, and sometimes some of us are friends. But at the end of the day, what matters is that we respect each other as athletes and as fighters. So.
You guys also got fired up through the social media chatter as well.
I respect everybody here, so nothing bothers me about that. Yeah, like Kelly said, not everyone's gonna get along, but just the fact that you're even stepping in the ring is like much respect for that to everybody.
I haven't had any shots directed at me nor do I direct any shots, but at the end of the day, everybody's gonna talk shit. It always happens, almost every fight, one of my fighters talk shit, it's fine. End of the day, you're in the ring with me, so you have to, I guess, what does that say? Bark is big, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So your fight is as big as the bar.
This is
guess so.
everyone's
So,
chance to throw
like,
shots at her.
like,
She
first,
said
you're
no
gonna
throw
talk
shots
shit,
at her. Go ahead.
I guess you wanna talk shit, right, let's fight, cause I'm tough, so it's
And you,
tough.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
And
Social media is tough to get a proper impression of people. This is a very small fight community that we have here on Long Island, and everybody knows everybody, and everybody thinks that they know everybody else too. So there can be a lot of chatter and a lot of things going around that may or may not be right. But closer to the fight, the more amped up people are going to be, and you just got to go with it.
Quick roundtable question for the ladies. When was each of your last fights?
Mine was about, I think 3 weeks ago, December 20th. I just fought in Friday Night Fights.
Friday Night Fights.
Me and Kelly just fought on Raw.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You sure, Nathan? That was your last fight.
April 15th, I think that was
English invasion.
2018.
Wow.
Yes,
It's coming on almost 2 years since your last fight.
Mhm.
And for you?
Yeah, September 8th I fought Wednesday.
Take
Any
some
other
questions, audience.
This is to all you ladies. What would becoming the Queen of New York mean to you, and what do you think will do for your careers as a fighter?
It would mean everything to me, and I think it would really help advance my career a lot. I'd be really grateful.
It's a great opportunity. I get to bring it back home to Brooklyn and show everyone who doubted me, like, look here, this is what I'm doing, and you're gonna join or, you know, just leave. So I'm excited. The flyer is really cool, and I have a lot of people rooting for me, and especially as a female, it's always like, no, you ain't supposed to fight, but I'm pretty much as good as the guys are, so I'm excited.
Kelly, your thoughts on what it would do for your career?
I think it would be amazing. You know, it's such an accomplishment, especially like I had mentioned earlier, to be part of the first one. But for me personally, outside of the fighting aspect, I think it would just really be a full 180 for my life. I mean, some people know my story. At some point, I was over 250 pounds. I worked my ass off, literally and physically, and you know, just turned my life around. Really, I faced a lot of, you know, depression and stuff in the past. So to really put things on the upswing, it would mean a lot to me.
Lindsay, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I don't know whether or not I'm gonna go pro with this. This started as just something for fun, and now I'm falling in love with it. So, you know, I'm not gonna say no to pro. But really, it would be a huge victory for me, especially given that, you know, with my first year of fighting and everything, it's been implied that I should stop. Well, I'm not gonna stop, and I'm gonna win. And if I don't win this time, I'm gonna win the next time, and I'm not. Why am I gonna give up? So if I can get this title, that would just mean everything to me personally. That's just a huge victory.
And your thoughts, Paige?
Yeah, it'd be a great compliment. I mean, it would look really nice next to my so. No, but I'm excited because, you know, get the belt, and then just like Kelly said before, it's gonna open doors up, and it's just gonna bring on more competition. I'm ready. Like, I'm excited.
Nice hearing some confidence in that excitement.
I love the fight. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, we're all here for one reason.
I have one more question. I did hear that the winner of the Queen of New York will be chosen to fight in England for American Invasion.
What?
Oh.
How does that make you girls feel?
Well, I just heard
Surprise.
this now, so shit.
You guys want to do it right now?
Your passport's ready?
There we go. I don't even have passports.
Yeah, I gotta get mine. I
can't show
That'd be awesome.
That'd be badass.
Yeah.
And that will be taking place in the summer. So.
Perfect.
To kind of, I guess, wrap it up, each of you ladies, could you sum yourselves up, and I know it's tough, but in one word, and how you are in the cage or the ring?
I don't want to start. I don't want to. I gotta think about this.
While we
I'd say I'm
think
really
about this,
aggressive.
can we know who the next one is? Like, we've been waiting so long to see who these next opponents are. I mean, I have not.
No, I said.
Said really aggressive.
Yeah, I would say I'm just really aggressive.
So we're just gonna
Go in
watch
there,
that.
do what you gotta do.
How would you describe yourself in the cage?
Um,
In the ring.
I don't know. I guess tough. I mean, I don't know. I'm ready.
Lindsay, yourself in one word?
Resilient.
The only thing that pops up right now is rage, so.
Go. Let's
And you, Kelly, in one word?
go. I would say relentless. I mean, if you hit me, I'm hitting you back. Kick me, I'm kicking you back. I'm not gonna stop.
Certainly a very fired up group of ladies vying for the Queen of New York. Are we all excited about it or what?
Yeah.